There we go. Put it in the folder in here. That man, because why not? Let's do index.js. Cool. Alrighty. So for this one, we're gonna go over some of the basics. So let me, and I'll turn my camera back on. So
Bit.
so all right, so this one right here is JavaScript. So I'll go over some of the stuff that I think you had probably missed on the lesson that we did with, I think it was like Jeremiah and Sack was in that one. But here I'll show you. So in JavaScript, this is the one that I've probably used the most in like most of the jobs that I've done. So I mean, you can do like everything with JavaScript, or you can make like mobile apps, websites, pretty much anything. Like you name it, you can do it in JavaScript. So the first concept you'll probably want to know is, oh, excuse me, data types. So well, actually, no, the very first one we'll go over is variables. So a variable is just a container that you can keep data inside of. So I'll give you an example. So we'll say like const my name is equal to double quotes Michael. And then we'll say like const age is equal to 26. All right, so these two right here, so these are examples of variables. So this one right here, right, my name, and then you'll see I have the double quotes and I put my name inside of it, and then right here is age, and then I'm just putting the number in there. So this right here, this is what's called a string data type. And a string data type is just something that you can put really anything that you would be able to like type from text message. You can put letters, numbers, symbols, spaces. You can literally put anything inside of a string. Um, but however, this is just a number data type. And then just like it sounds, you can only put numbers inside of this. Then there's another one you can do. Let's say hobbies. This is called an array data type. So an array data type, you can put, it's just a list of items. You can put multiple things in here. So like, let's say I want to say gym, Call of Duty, uh, I don't know, anime. Yeah, there we go. So those are kind of like your basic data types that you'll have. So right here, create a variable with your own name. There you go. So right here, create a variable with your own name. Thank you. Similar to the one that I have up there, but then just put your name inside of it.
Gotcha. So right there.
Mm-hmm.
Should I put the two or just leave it as my name?
You can yeah, put it as two because you can't have
Multiple
two
with this.
different variables, yet multiple variables, yeah, with the same name.
Mm, yeah.
Perfect. And then one thing I forgot to mention is at the end of every statement in JavaScript, you'll want to put a semicolon at the end.
Gotcha.
Yep. Perfect. Now, so that's solid. Create variable with your age.
Yep.
Cool. Perfect. So we can create a program that spits out the stuff that we have inside of our variables. It's very easy. So the way to do that is boom, and then whatever you put in parentheses will get spit out. So down here, you'll write a console log, and then we'll print out your name using the variable created earlier.
Gotcha. So
Nice, perfect. All right. So now go down to the console, that terminal down below. Yep,
right
right
here.
there. Yep, click there. So in order to run the program, and this is why I had you download Node.js, that software just lets you be able to actually run your programs. So you have to do is type node. Actually, where are we? Actually, first you're going to type CD in the terminal.
The CD.
Space. And then you can type Sandman, capital S, because I created a folder on my computer named Sandman. Yep. And then hit enter. There you go. Now type ls, and it's going to show you all the files in that folder. Nice. Okay. So you'll see we have one file in there, index.js, and that's the one we've been working on. So now just type node, N-O-D-E, space, and then the name of the file, and then you can hit enter. Nice. So does that make sense so far? How you create the variable, you threw it into the console, and then it's your program spits it out?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. So congratulations, you're a programmer. This is literally just all that I do, but more and more just lines and details and messing with data. So I'll show you some other cool things that you can do. So this is just with basic data types. If we come over here, and actually I'm gonna have you do this. Go to the terminal again.
Yep.
And just so you know, this terminal is the same as if you were to remember when I had you do a command space bar and you opened up that terminal.
Yeah.
These are all this is the same kind of terminal, so all these commands you can use on your local machine, so you don't have to be in VS Code. But in there you're gonna type touch space, and then let's say math dot JS. Yep, and hit enter. Nice. So now if you type ls again, it'll show you all the files in that folder. Cool. So what touch does is if you run that in your terminal on your computer, you'll do space and then you type whatever the file name is, and you can just create a file from your terminal like that. There's also a way for you to be able to edit code from the terminal, which I'll show you in a second. But on the left-hand side, let me see, I'll open this up. All right, it should focus you on this one. Perfect. So you just saw how you can console log things out. Now I'm going to show you how to create a function and how we can do math. So do math already. So you'll remember there's console.log from before.
Yep.
Okay, inside the console log, add together two numbers. And so just write the equation inside of console.log and it'll literally look just like it would for any normal equation. You can put space between the numbers if you want to.
For sure. Um, It's like basic now. Whoops.
Perfect. Yep. And just put your semicolon at the end of it. Nice. Okay. So now go back to the terminal and then run it.
Just do run.
It'll be the that node command again, and then just use the name of this file now.
Oh, gotcha. Set the math.
Yeah, you should be able to do math.js.
Oh, dope.
Yes, sir. Perfect. So if I was to do this, so all right, so I'll just take my numbers 6, 1, 4, 4, and then we'll run it again. Perfect. Okay. So all this is working properly. So as you write your programs out, right, you could just put all your logic just like this, and that would work just fine. But sometimes what'll happen is, so like plus, for instance, plus, I mean, it's very straightforward. But let's say, for example, you had some kind of operation that you needed to do that took like multiple steps. And so you were like, damn, like I don't want to have to write, in this case, addition and then addition and then addition and then addition. I wish I could just like write it one time and then reuse it. Well, you can. That's exactly what a function does. So here's how you do a function. So if I wanted to create function add numbers. Okay, so I'm gonna say A, then I'm gonna say B, or I'm gonna say let's say number 1 and then number 2 and then that boom. All righty. So couple of quick things to note. So this is a function. So I'll show you. Yeah. All right. Function name is, so the way you declare a function, create a function, is you just say function, and then whatever you put after that will be the name of the function. So this function is called add numbers. Can't spell it there. Arguments slash parameters. So in any programming language, whenever you create a function, you're normally going to pass it some kind of data. So the data that you pass into your function, those are called, they normally use two different words. Sometimes they call them arguments, sometimes they call them parameters. They're the exact same thing. And you can have as many parameters as you want. So like if we wanted just one, we could have did one. If you wanted a function with no parameters, you can do that. Or if you wanted a function with two, 3, 4, right? Like so on and so forth. You can literally, like if you wanted, you know, 10, 20 different arguments, you could. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but you can if you want to. So for this, we'll just do 2. So number 1, the first number, and then we'll say num2, second number. All right. So then you do these little curly brackets, which you'll find on your keyboard. It should be to the right of P. And so then inside of the function, you just you just write, what do you want function to do? So in this case, we want to add together two different numbers. So we're going to say number 1 plus number 2. Perfect. All right, our function is complete. So the reason you'll create a function is because sometimes you'll write some code and then you want to reuse it in other places. So if you had code like this, and let's say you were adding numbers together like this in, I don't know, like 10 different parts of a website or an application that you make. Well,
Mhm.
if you just do this, right? If you just write it without a function, then you'll have to change it for as many times as you wrote it. So if you write this in your application 10 times, then you got to change this 10 times. But if you use a function and then you just do it like this, and then you've used your function 10 times, now if you're like, oh, damn, I want to change something, you only have to change it one time inside of your function, and it'll change everywhere else for you. So it just makes your life a little bit easier as well. So this is how you create the function. Here's how you call a function. If we go call my function, you would go const, let's say added numbers. You just say add numbers, and then let's say boom, and then I'll say console.log added. So let's go back to the terminal, run it. Oops, well, we got an that's why. So right here, I'm saying, hey, I want to take these numbers and put whatever number one plus number two is and store it inside of this variable called added numbers. You'll notice though, I got undefined in the console log right here. The reason I got undefined is because you
You
have
haven't
to
defined
return.
it yet.
Right, exactly. I got to return the value from the function. So now we go, boom, 19.
Mm.
So for you, we'll go console log this out, console log that, comment out, comment, comment. So down here, create a function that does subtraction. Go for it.
Whoops, wrong area.